Incorporating Deathstroke in the DCU has got to be one of the biggest missed opportunities when it comes to the adaptation of just the overall DC extended universe, pre James Gunn taking over. And due to the fact that there was supposed to be a solo live action Batman film in which Deathstroke, played by Joe Manganiello, he was supposed to be like the main villain. They were supposed to have this really interesting and intriguing dynamic and kind of rivalry that was set up at the post-credit scene of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And this just kind of just goes to show you just some of the other incompetence by WB executives. But I do think that in the future with James Gunn's vision for the DCU, that this would be the perfect opportunity to implement someone like Deathstroke, as he just offers so much to the table. But before we get into the video, make sure to join the Discord server that I linked down below and in the pinned comment. Come join. I'm trying to build a community over there, really just talking about, build a fan base, talking about DC, Marvel, and just other comic book related media and kind of just comic book genres over there. Trying to see what your interests are, have debates, discussions, just all on that. If you really want to join a community, I'll link it down below in the description, and I'll just leave it in the top pinned comment down below. All right, back to the video. Over the past few decades in the DC universe, Deathstroke has just remained as a very prominent figure in the DC universe as both a mercenary and an assassin, and he's appeared in numerous different medias and adaptations through comic book storylines, animated shows, and video games. And he's just honestly become one of the fan favorites with his tactical prowess, deadly skills, and intriguing backstory. Utilizing someone like Deathstroke in live action could bring a lot of different aspects that a lot of fans have been learning for, or have been kind of campaigning for in the DC universe, because not only does he have ties to like the Teen Titans, but there's also that rivalry between him and Dick Grayson. And if you really wanted to, you could also have that kind of somewhat tie in with like maybe a potential rivalry with Batman and kind of see any potential fights, because he's a very formidable opponent and he's fought so many numerous characters in the DC, but primarily he has a really big rivalry with like the Teen Titans, which I made a video a while back saying why I think the Teen Titans need to be implemented in the James Gunn's new universe. One of the main reasons why he's such a compelling character isn't necessarily just his powers and abilities, but also his motivation and his conflicts. In the comics, Deathstroke is often portrayed as an anti-hero-ish, but mostly a villain, like a mercenary, like a hit for hire. He's willing to take anybody down, and he's motivated by a sense of duty and honor, but also a desire for revenge and personal gain, especially with the Judas Contract storyline, with the new Teen Titans one, and kind of just how he blamed the Titans for like the death of his son, and then you see that rivalry kind of grow and expand there. I think the first step in what they should do to incorporate someone like Deathstroke is to just have him be like a hired assassin, kind of hired by different mob bosses or different characters to just take out the heroes that are already established in this universe. This is a really good and effective way to have him come in contact with the multitude of people of whoever they want to encounter first. And if especially since James Gunn's taking a lot of inspiration from the comic, his various interactions and conflicts with like Green Arrow, Nightwing, the Teen Titans, Batman, different Justice League members, just the possibilities are just endless. But preferably I'd like him to go against more like street level hand-to-hand combatant folk oriented heroes like Batman, Nightwing, or other martial artists, as I think it would just offer some of the best hand-to-hand fight scenes in like any comic book movie. You look at some of the best fights in superhero movies, whether it's Marvel and DC, a lot of them are hand-to-hand combat oriented, or like TV shows like Daredevil, that one warehouse scene in BVS, or like Captain America Civil War or Winter Soldier. Just like some of these fight scenes that are like well choreographed and very intense and very action oriented, which was going to be a really main factor in Ben Affleck's canceled movie, which was I think gonna have incorporate Arkham Asylum as well. But then you're also gonna have like Deathstroke as the main villain and kind of have this really big vendetta against Bruce Wayne, kind of like trying to basically destroy his life. He's trying to take down either people he cared about or like his life. And there's like different versions of the script I think are online or like somewhere in the internet, like kind of rumors of what direction they wanted to go.
One of my favorite movies.
Systematically dismantles Bruce's life and starts murdering all the people in it as he destroys his finances and just basically paints him into a corner. And there was like a big, huge showdown, I think, between, it was like Batgirl. Batgirl jumps in to try to help Bruce because Deathstroke is so fast that he can anticipate Bruce's movements. And there was this huge fight in Gotham City where Batman is like, completely afraid because he realizes he's met someone who can take him. And then that leads to this big climactic battle through the streets of Gotham.
It was supposed to be written by Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns. I mean, a character like Deathstroke has already been adapted in a couple of different medias that I think did him pretty well for the most part. I think the most notable is his time in Arrow, specifically when he was the main villain in season 2. And just case you see like that build up rivalry during his time with the island with Oliver Queen, and like kind of getting his like enhanced strength and abilities with the Mirakuru, which is I guess the equivalent of like the super soldier serum, I guess, to like give him that kind of edge up. And just seeing him trying to take down Oliver, season 2 is honestly the best season of Arrow. And then another really cool version was in the Titan show. Not the biggest fan of that show itself, but I thought they did a pretty good job with Deathstroke. His costume design is really good. That show just overall has a really good costume department. Can't say the same thing for the writing though. But just to gonna give you an idea of how cool a character he is, I'm just gonna kind of list down some of the most notable powers and abilities that he has. Kind of one being his enhanced brain activity, which basically allows him to access his brain functions at a cellular level, granting him like enhanced physical like attributes. And then for the most part, he has like accelerated healing, toxic immunity, enhanced senses, hearing, vision, enhanced strength, durability, speed, all the basic, I guess, kind of enhanced superhuman, like with stamina and empowerment and all that. But like just to kind of show you, because he's gone toe to toe with Batman a lot in the comics. I do plan on doing a video on going over every single encounter him and Batman have done throughout like comics and different medias, and just to kind of I guess that's just the best way to prove how formidable of an opponent he is. But looking forward to that, and then kind of just hoping in the future that James Gunn in some way or form intends to implement a cool as a character as Deathstroke.